All right, I got the 2022 Ford Bronco. Now, this Bronco is pretty slick. It's got methods. It's got oversized tires. It's got bumpers. It's got roof racks. It's got lights. It's a Big Ben from the factory. But I'll tell you what my favorite part about this thing is. It just looks super mean. And it's a manual transmission. So it's an absolute blast to drive. Can't wait for somebody to take possession of this thing. This thing, you know, it's like taking me back to the high school roots. My first car was a manual. It's just been a blast. It's been sitting out here. We're at my house, so it's a little dirty, but just dusty. The detailer was here. Shout out to Mr. Ricky Slicky, Tucson Auto Detailer. But let me walk you around this thing. I really have had fun with this truck. Overall, it's in pretty darn good shape. We got it as a trade-in. I guess you got to unlock it to get it to open. So we'll give you guys a tour. If you haven't been through one of these Big Bens before, it's, you know, one of the more entry-level packages. It does have some options. It's got CarPlay, it's got cruise, but it is a manual, which a manual is kind of fun. So, all right, let's walk around. Let's look at condition. So this front bumper, this thing's all stainless steel. If I was going to drive this, if I was going to keep it, I'd probably take that off, get it powder-coated black. The back one is powder coated black. You can see a little oxidization on it. Nothing wrong with it. I just don't love the way it looks. You got a little oxidization on this piece here. It's just because it's unfinished. It's aluminum. Coming up here, lights, front end. This all looks good. You got a little baby chip there. And then you got a couple, this thing's got some stone chips. It's got about 37,000, 38,000 miles. That's a spider web. Also spider web. That's dust. Sorry guys, I should have dusted it off here before I did this, but spider webs. Like I said, Big Ben package. It's got the methods with the 315/70 17s on it. Just looks super beefy. They don't rub, no clearance issues, which is cool. It's got the aftermarket running boards on it here. There is a little baby scratch right there. One right there. There's a bunch of little stuff like that on this truck, but overall, hardly even notice that stuff because it just looks so cool. Again, methods here. Tires have tons of tread on them. You can see they're, you know, super deep. Wear bars way down in there. I think a couple thousand miles on these guys at most. I like they did this right. Full size spare with the tire. It all matches, and I dig that. Rear bumper, like I said. See, this one's powder coated black. I think that just looks a lot better. It's got the roof rack on this one. Trunk opens up. Now in this guy, it's got the full removable hardtop, so this whole thing comes off. So the back, the top, the middle, the whole top comes off this thing. I'm not going to take it off for the video. That feels like a lot of work. I'm just one dude, and I don't think I can get it off by myself, but pretty cool. It's got this little miniature roll cage. It's got some speakers up under here. It's got two sets of floor mats. It's got the factory Ford floor mats. I've got the original window sticker, so you can see, we'll put a copy of this up on the site, but you can see the packages and everything that this guy has. And then it's got the factory floor mats, the door nets, and all that stuff. You know, there's some stuff. Truck's been driven, truck's been used. It's got some scratches in the interior paneling, but these are pretty minimalist to begin with. I feel like the person who buys this, it's not gonna be a show car. Little scratch right here, right here. You know, you're probably gonna drive it. You're gonna have some fun with this thing. Cool wheel. There is a little scratch. That's actually like all the way down past the paint. Come around here. That's a stick. Sorry about the stick. But like I said, wheels, tires, pretty new, good shape. Overall, this thing just looks awesome. Now, I've had it for about 3 weeks now. The battery did go out immediately after I took it on trade. That's like, seems to be our luck. I've bought way too many batteries in my life. So it's got a brand new battery, comes with a warranty. Our friends over at Monsoon Automotive took care of that for us. It's got these aftermarket plastic pockets. Kind of dig those. I think they're cool. Let's pop this hood, show you what's going on under here. So hood prop, it's nice and cleaned up. Like I said, brand new battery. Guys at Monsoon just put that in. Overall in really good shape. Truck has good service records. That's all your wiring for all the lighting on the truck. All that lighting is controlled right here by the outfitter switches. They're labeled. The ones that are unlabeled don't control anything. They're not hooked up, so you get your floods, your ambers, your windshield lights. But like you said, let's take you through the interior. It's in good shape. No rips, no tears. It is cloth, so it's like a microfibery, canvasy, clothy kind of thing. That's the net thing. So that plastic thing, replace that net thing. Those net things are back there if you want the net thing back. Third brake light above the tire. Technically, I think you're supposed to put a license plate light here, but it doesn't look like they did. So buyer beware. If you get pulled over and you don't have a license plate light, you should probably take care of that. There's a little stain here. Looks like a little spill here. Nothing too bad. I don't know how bad that looks in the video. We'll see. But like I said, fully removable hardtop. Door panels in pretty good shape. Keep rolling. A couple scuffs on this side. A couple scuffs down here. Comes with all the manuals. Cool. All right, we will fire this thing up. I'm going to set you guys back here so you can hear it start up. One of the things I want to show you, so I got the truck running. This thing's super clean. You can see it has not been off-roaded much, if at all really. Like there's no scars or dents. So it's all in good shape. You can see they did cut the tow hooks to fit the bumper. So what I was showing you there, I don't know if you could hear me or not with the engine on, is it hasn't really been off-roaded. It doesn't look like to me. You know, there's no like trail drag marks or anything back here. Muffler's not beat up. It looks like she's been a pavement princess, which is all right. I'd rather buy that than something that's been really wheeled up. But super capable truck, looks great. We'll go drive it. All right, I'm here in the 2022 Bronco Big Bend. This thing's a blast. I gotta tell you, when I brought it home, my wife saw it and she's like, "Oh, that's a cool looking truck. Let me check that thing out." And she came out and she kind of looked around it. She's like, "Oh, I like this." And then she's like, "Wait, it's a stick shift?" I was like, "Yeah, it's a manual transmission." And she's like, "I want to drive it." And so she immediately took off in it and like went around the block, and I was impressed. She did a great job. No stalls. In fact, she's probably a better driver of a stick shift than me, because I like try to Ricky racer it and I'm not very smooth, and she's just like gliding. But this thing is a blast to drive. The stick shift only comes in the 4-cylinder Broncos, which you know, I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing, but if you want like a V8 Bronco or a V6 Bronco, no stick shift. Now, it is a 4-cylinder turbo. It's an EcoBoost motor. I don't actually find it to be like underpowered. They've done a really nice job with it. I gotta say, the last stick car I drove before this, I think, was like a 2008 Z06 that made 700 and some horsepower and was a full race car. And that thing felt really like, I don't know, mechanical is probably the right word. This is the first like modern stick shift I've driven, and it's interesting. They've like made it easier. I feel like it has like anti-stall. It's like even if you don't give it quite enough revs, when you get to go going, like it solves it for you and won't stall. I'm sure you could stall it, but I've been pretty impressed with this thing. It's fun to drive. Like I said in the other part of the video, we did have to put a battery in it. We had the guys go through it while they had it just to make sure everything else was cool, and they said everything else was good. It was serviced by Larry Miller Ford up in Mesa back on December 10th of, or I'm sorry, it's due for service on December 10th at 46,000 miles. So I think it was serviced last December 10th, because these are like 1-year maintenance interval vehicles. But hey, I mean, you can see like we're cruising. This thing's got big old meaty all-terrains on it. I love that they started putting these BFG all-terrains on the Raptors, because I think when it became like a factory thing, they did a lot to really dampen the noise from like an all-terrain off-road tire. So, you know, we're doing 45 right now. No tire howl, no like big brrr going down the road. This isn't like the Broncos my buddies had in high school in the 90s. Like, this thing is much more refined. It actually rides pretty smooth. Doesn't make a ton of noise. It's got CarPlay. You know, AC works great. It's like 90 here today, and I started this thing up. Actually, it's 95 right now, and I started it up. It's been sitting outside all day, and like, I'm cool. I'm hanging out. It's fine. No problem. So overall, like, pretty impressed with this. And actually, it's, considering that this has the removable T-tops and everything, like, it's actually remarkably quiet for what it is. I took you around underneath it when I had it running there. I don't know how well you'll be able to hear what I was saying there, but the point I was trying to get at is, like, a lot of these off-road trucks, especially the ones that are lifted and modded and stuff, the first place you go is to the undercarriage, look at the skid plates and everything, and a lot of times you'll see them, they're like dented up, banged up, scratched up, and it's like clear, oh wow, somebody like drug the entire bottom of that car across a ditch or a boulder or whatever. And this one's really clean. I don't know if it's ever even been off-roaded. Like, this is strikes me as a Starbucks warrior. And based on, you know, I know the customer that traded it in, they're a friend of a friend, and he said his wife was the one that drove this. And so I don't think they really did a lot of off-roading, if any. Truck seems to be in pretty good shape, you know, drives straight. I don't have to like guide it too much. Overall, this thing's cool, I'll tell you. Like, this would be a fun, like, you got a cabin, and you just want a car to keep at the cabin. This thing's like ideal because it's pretty cheap, because it's a 4-cylinder. You're not paying like the 70 grand for the you know, Bronco Raptor money. And it's like fun to drive. I feel like the manual transmission really makes, like, it makes the drive so much more interesting in this thing. But it's still got cruise control and stuff, and get it out on the freeway and just kind of let it ride and do its thing. And I don't know, I dig it. I think it's a cool truck. I think whoever buys it's going to be pretty happy with it. Actually, you know, it's funny. I always feel like I do these and I just nag everything that I drive really hard. I don't think it's because I'm picky. I just kind of know what I like. But here, we'll give it a little juice. Like, it's 50 in second gear. I mean, I think it does all right. It's got that turbo 4-cylinder, does its job, and I'm not mad about it at all. You know, when I'm cruising out, 4th gear, 38, like 1,500 revs, you know, builds a little boost and just kind of goes. And you can hear the turbos. You probably can't hear the turbos there, but it's got a sunglass holder. One of the things, okay, see, look, I just had to wait a minute. One of the things that I don't love is that the window switches are here in the middle. Not my favorite. I don't know why. It's a nit. Like, I guess some people take the doors off these things, so like the window switches are over here. The first time I drove it, I felt like the dumbest human alive because I couldn't find the window control, but that's probably why I don't like it, because it made me feel dumb. Traction control is up here. Traction control off. There you go. Hazard lights are up there. Yeah. I mean, overall, like, pretty solid little truck. I do notice here that the left rear, cycling through tire pressures, left rear is at 28 psi, all the others are at 33, so I don't know if it might have a slow leak or something. I'll double check that. Like, the light's not on. I'm just kind of cycling through playing with stuff. Truck has 38,670 miles. Average looks like 15.8 miles to the gallon, which is with me playing Ricky Racer on the stick shift for the last probably like 150 miles. Funny enough, like, I just did a video in this like top of the line C8 Corvette that we got. I haven't driven that thing. Like, he came off the trailer and I drove it once. This thing, I'm like, oh, this thing's great. And I go driving around all the time. Take it to the mall, went to lunch with it. I dig this thing. This thing's fun. It looks really cool. It's like pretty nimble for how it looks really big when you're looking at it. When you drive it, it doesn't feel big like that. I'm pretty impressed. Ford did a good job. I mean, I'm a Raptor guy. Like, I've had a bunch of Raptors. My everyday car is a Raptor R. And I was never like a Ford guy. I wasn't a Mustang guy. But I think they've done a really good job on these off-road trucks. And I think a lot of the Bronco tech has come out of what they've learned with the Raptor. And maybe that's why I like it. I don't know. But it's pretty cool. I dig it. The gate's not opening for me. There we go. It opened. I think the battery in my gate clicker's low. So I was talking about the mileage a minute ago. Like I said, 38,670. So it is out of the, even though it's a 2022, it is out of the 36,000 bumper to bumper warranty just because of mileage. It still has the powertrain warranty. So just know that if you buy it, that, you know, like the battery, typically for a 1-year-old truck, you don't expect the battery to go out. When I took it in, they said a cell died in the battery, which that happens on these new AGM batteries, and then the whole truck freaks out when that happens. So, pretty easy fix, a couple $100. They put a brand new battery in it. It's got a warranty. Shouldn't have any more problems. But just do know that if you have problems, you've got powertrain coverage, but the bumper to bumper is expired. Nothing really else. Like, I'm thinking about what else can I nitpick about this thing. I don't have much. It's pretty good. For, I don't know what we're asking right now. I think it's like $37,500. For a sub $40,000 vehicle, tough to beat. Like, real tough to beat. It's fun to drive. Looks cool. Tough to beat. I gotta say that on this one. This is tough to beat for under 40. Enjoy it. Appreciate you watching. This one's going to go live on Cars and Bids in a week and a half if somebody doesn't scoop it up first. So check out the auction. If you want to come drive it, hit me up. We'll get you out for a test drive. As always, we appreciate you guys. Thanks so much.